morning, everyone. Good morning. It is, what day is it? Tuesday? I think it's Tuesday. So, hope everyone is having a great week so far. Let's see. So, today, I'm going to talk about love and power. And, how to, or what it is, like, what is power? Because what we believe power to be is not what power is, which is why most people don't have any, meaning power over their lives, power over their creations. A lot of these things we don't quite understand, so that's what I'm going to talk about. But before I get into that, my videos will probably come to a halt pretty soon. I'm not stopping the speaking part. I'm not going to stop talking about topics and things like that. I'm just going to, well, I'm going to attempt to transfer it over to like a podcast type thing, because the videos are taking a lot of time to put together and upload, which is why my videos have been erratic, because I don't have the time to really sit and, you know, put them together and upload them. And I can only upload them when I'm at home, because they're so data heavy. Like, one video can be like 18 to 20 gigabytes, and it takes a long time. So I have to be at home where there's Wi-Fi. I can't do it over my regular cellular network. So, you know, I think I have like 3 videos or recordings that I've done that I haven't even put together, and my memory on my phone is like it's like getting low, so I can't sustain that. So I think it'd be easier if I do a podcast. I can do it, you know, audio. I can upload it actually, you know, right after I'm done making the video. Making the recording, and so the content can be out there rather quickly versus the video part. I haven't decided if I'm going to stop the videos altogether, but I may be able to put them, I don't know, post both of them, but I'm just not sure how I'm going to do it yet. If I may be able to do it like this, like take a video and then just transfer it to audio, but even that takes time. So I don't know, we'll see. But I just want to let you know that these videos may come to a halt, but it's not because I'm stopping what I'm doing. It's just because I'm using a different avenue to get the content out there. All right, so that's that. So, yeah, love and power. That's interesting, because I think there's a reality show called Love and War or something like that, and I'm like, why? Like, why? Why? Anyway, whatever, their why is their why. So, love and power. Power is, I was somewhere, was it Sunday maybe, or Saturday, maybe Sunday, I'm not sure, and there was this guy who was directing traffic, and I guess this one car just kind of, didn't know, was pulling in, and he just like yelled, and he's like, stop, and I'm like looking at him, I'm like, okay, like, and he yelled, he was like, there's a system here, and I'm thinking, well, how is this person supposed to know there's a system if they're like, it was an Uber, so they were like dropping off a guest. So I was like, how was he supposed to know the system of your hotel? I'm like, okay, but, and there was a person next to me that said, oh, that's what happens when you give someone, a little, oh, that's how people act when they get a little power. And my response was, he doesn't have any power. He has no power at all. What is he going to do? Jump in front of the vehicle as the vehicle decides to just, go in and drop the guest off? What is he going to do? Write him a ticket? He doesn't even have the authority or ability to do that. So, people have this illusion of power, and it's really not power at all. It's all in their head. But when it's all said and done, they really don't control anything, So, love is what grants power. And it's not so evident here because we on the planet don't recognize that. We don't recognize love. We see that as a weakness, and so we have very different understandings of what love is on the planet. And so because of this, we are disillusioned by this, and we operate in a way that's unloving, because love is the only thing that grants power. What people are referring to as power is authority, and in the end, they don't even have that. Again, another illusion, because once we leave this system that man has created on this planet, we are subjected to the universal laws, and we cannot escape those. We can't escape those laws. We can't escape the Creator's authority, and we cannot escape the Creator's power. And the Creator's power and authority is what in love, all of it is in love, is or has created the system in which it operates today. The universe, the way it operates. So we can't escape the real power. We can't escape the real authority. We can't escape any of that. But we can believe that we have this illusionary power and authority. But as long as we don't have love, we're not going to have the power. And that, like I said, that's evident when we die. Because we won't have any authority over anything, over anyone. And that's interesting, because the video that I made yesterday about preparing for separation kind of alludes to that. It's like, those who have less love within their soul, they will be in a dark place, and they won't have power over anyone. The only ones that they will have power over are the ones that are dwelling beside them. But they don't have power. That's just it. There's no power there. They don't. And I mean, the proof of that is they don't even have the power to escape their environment. That's how you know these people do not have any power. They cannot escape their environment. And the same thing goes for people on Earth. A cousin of mine was posting these memes. Oh gosh, I feel nauseous again. What is going on? Hold on. That is entirely too hot. Anyway, so people on Earth. Oh, my cousin had posted something. It had something to do with Beyonce and her husband Jay-Z, and it was a meme, and it was, I don't remember what it is word for word, but it was something like something about. It was written by a woman who was saying, that something about peace. Don't expect peace from your woman or your girlfriend when you're this, that, the other. And because I guess she's looking for a peaceful life, and she can't have it because of that man. And I'm thinking, a peaceful woman would never go on a tirade like that. Like, what? No, a peaceful woman would not just rant out all this stuff like, and you need to do this and you need to do that. And I mean, I had to respond to it. My response was, a peaceful woman would never act like that. Would never even form her thoughts or words to even express something in that manner. That's not what a peaceful woman does. So this is why she can't have what she's seeking. It's like the law of attraction is not broken. It's working just fine. And everything is in full effect the way it's supposed to be. And so, people who argue all the time and they have problems within the relationships, this is because they don't have any power. And this is the frustration. This is the frustration. The thing is, they are trying to live a life that is unloving. They're trying to control. They want someone else to conform. Anytime you want someone else to conform to your desires, your ways, your will, it is unloving. And that disallows you the power to have the freedom, the joy, the happiness. You can't have any of that. I mean, just feel really, if you're in a relationship and you get so frustrated when someone doesn't do what you want them to do or what you expect them to do, feel the discord within you. Feel the frustration. Feel the stress. Feel the anger. Just feel it. And you will see it's all because you want someone else to be or do something and they don't want to do it. Nobody has to do anything. we all have free will to do as we choose. So to get angry because they're not living your will is an unloving thing. And you getting mad at them is even more unloving. Because now you're trying to shame or guilt them into seeing things your way. And that is an unloving thing. And so you have no power. And so you're stuck in that relationship with this person that you can't stand, or that irritates you all the time, or doesn't give you what you... I mean, all of that is based on you. All of it is based on you. And if you have a cheating partner, girlfriend, or boyfriend, that's all you. If that frustrates you, it's all you. It's not the other person. The other person is doing whatever they're doing, as anybody will do whatever they want to do, for the most part, if they're not controlled by someone. So they get to do whatever they want to do. The question that we should ask ourselves, or you should ask yourself, if this is you, it's not me because I'm not in a relationship, but the question you should ask yourself is, why do you keep attracting people like this, man or woman? Why is it that you keep getting these deadbeats, as most would be called? Why? How come you can't attract that peaceful person that you desire so much? Because you don't desire it. You want it. Your soul desires something else, which is why you're getting what you're getting. You know, we look at life like, you know, I want to control it, but you don't control anything. Anytime you try to control something, you don't have any control. It's your soul is controlling you. Every time you try to control something, you are out of control. You are out of control. You know, I'm learning my lesson more and more and more. You know, I had mentioned, many videos ago that, coworker of mine, at one point wasn't talking to me and was doing these things that were really unnecessary. And I haven't changed. I have not changed. My emotions haven't changed toward that person. Then all of a sudden, they changed. They reverted back. And now they don't want to talk to me anymore. And I'm like, I think I told you guys, I was just waiting for it. It was only a matter of time. And actually, it was partly, I want to say I played a role in that. But it wasn't taken the way I meant it. But I don't have any control over how someone else takes something, or accepts something, or receives something, or understands something. Like, I don't have any control over that. All I have control over is the intent that I have behind my actions. So, and to be mindful when I've played a role in something. So, I understand my role, but there wasn't any malice within it, I don't believe, and if there is, I need to reevaluate this. But we were in a training, and we had to do this thing after the training in order to show that we, completed the training. And I completed my paper for, it was a little form we had to fill out, and so I completed mine first. And the person next to me wanted to basically copy it because they didn't want to, they didn't want to create something on their own, and they didn't want to get up and walk around where there were answers around the building. It was like a fire safety training thing, and so we had to do a map of where the exit, or what is available fire safety wise, in our area. So fire hose, extinguisher, alarm, exits, things like that. So I already knew where everything was, so I just did the and I did get up. I got up and I walked around and just to make sure I had everything. Well, I took it upon myself to get my butt up and go and do it. But everyone else at my table didn't want to do that, so they wanted to copy my paper. I was like, here, this is where the exits are, this is where this is. And so I just let the person next to me, fill it out. And there were two other people that were at the table, and that coworker was one of them. And but the person, he had asked me if he could, copy mine. And I said, just get up and go in the hallway and write it down. I mean, the reason why I said that is because the person next to me was taking her sweet time copying my map and the legends and all that stuff that I had put on there, and the markings and whatever. And so the person took it like the wrong, like I was saying no, and I wasn't saying no. In my mind, I was like, it would be more efficient if you just got up, walked in the hallway, made a couple of, markings on your paper, and you're done. Like, it didn't take me but a hot minute to do it. So I was looking at it from the perspective of, you can wait around if you want to, but there were other people at the table who wanted to, copy the paper. So it's like, to me, it was going to take a long time. I was looking at it from a time perspective, and that person didn't take it like that. They took it like, I was like, no, you can't do it, go in the hallway. And I actually corrected, like, I actually explained what I meant. I was like, here's the paper, she was just, copying it. And the person walked off and called me and said, you're such an ass, and just walked off. And I just knew this stuff was going to come back. And I told you guys a long time ago it was going to come back. And it did. And so the thing is, it didn't bother me. I knew where it was coming from. I was like, this doesn't have anything to do with me. This person was, already has a lot of stuff going on within them. In addition to not even resolving the reason why they were upset with me from the beginning. So it was just stuff that was of old that came up and presented itself as new. And, that's just, it just goes to show that people who do not have love within their soul do not have any power. Like, they didn't have any control over their emotions. They didn't understand why they were acting in such a way, and they clearly didn't understand where I was coming from, even though I corrected and said here. And I even explained the reason why I said that is because it was going to take a long time, because someone else, was using the paper. So, the thing is, if you want power, just be loving. That's it. Just be loving. People are so caught up in the lives of other people, and it's like it drags you down. But understand, it's not dragging you down. You're just interacting with energy that is within your soul, which is why you're involved in it. And that's the most important thing to realize, is that anytime you have bad interactions, it's because there's something within your soul that is allowing that to happen. It's for no other reason than that. There's something within you that is bringing... My eyes all dried out. Turn this vent down. What's this one? I didn't even have the air on. Hold on a second. Hold on. This is going to be weird doing a podcast while I'm driving, because they're not going to be able to see what you're seeing. So when I say, let me turn my air down, or my eyes are dried out, or whatever, it's not going to make any sense. And when I respond to traffic, it's going to be like, where's this guy at? That's going to be funny. I'm going to have to put that disclaimer out there before anything ever happens. So, yeah. I don't know, man. This stuff. It's not difficult stuff to understand. It's just people are unwilling to see it. And, frankly, a lot of people are in a place where they can't. They can't see it. The things that I talk about, they just don't make any sense to anyone, because it can't. It can't. It's like, it's like a kindergarten. No. A kindergartner. There we go. Being presented cursive writing. They may understand print, but they don't understand the cursive, and it doesn't make any sense to them. It's just, a bunch of squiggly lines. They just can't wrap their head around it. Maybe one thing may look, similar to like the Z. The Z may look, no, that's actually far off too. Maybe an L. I don't know. That's kind of that's the thing. Is like, they'll look at it and they're like, okay, yeah, whatever, and then they'll keep going with what they know. And this is very important to understand, when especially if you're teaching people, that's what I do. I make these videos to inform people of certain things that they're not, or possibly not aware of. But in order to get it, there's like, they're like little stepping stones lessons that you have to walk on as you like a step, like a stair, if you will. You know, you can't just skip over things, and if you do skip over things, you're going to run into a block. And this is the same thing that happens in the spirit world, with the spirits who are in the different dimensions. Yes, you can have a spirit who moves from the first dimension all the way up to the 6th dimension. But if they skipped over some lessons in the 3rd dimension or the 4th dimension, they have to go back in order to learn those lessons within that dimension. And they can't progress any further because certain things won't make sense. Like the spirits who cannot enter the 7th dimension. There's a gate there. And they don't understand why they can't enter the gate. And some of them don't even know that there's a gate there. They believe that the 6th dimension is the highest you can go or achieve, and it's not. But so a lot of Buddhists, a lot of religious people, or spirits who are religious, or they do the Buddhist thing, or they're New Age, or it doesn't matter what it is. Whatever their belief is limits them to seeing other things. And that's what prevents them from either seeing the door or being able to pass through or see the gate or pass through the gate. And that's the same thing here. If you skip over things, and this is interesting because a lot of New Age people are skipping over a lot of things. And this is what prevents them from achieving the abundance that they talk about so much. Abundance, law of attraction, abundance, and come to me, and vortex and energy. Like, they went straight to that stuff, but they're ignoring the human aspect of who they are. Like, if you really look at a New Age person, they don't really acknowledge the soul. Everything is energy. Everything is just this elusive energy that's out there, and we're all connected by this energy, to this energy, and we are energy, and energy, and and so they skip over a lot of things, and there's a lot that they don't understand, which is why a lot of them will claim abundance and create and attract this and attract that, but the only thing they're attracting is pain and misery, and they're always arguing with everyone, and finding these things that are fearful, and trying to scare everybody, talking about they're trying to inform someone because you're like afraid that something's going to happen. You're like, be careful, don't do this. It's like, and that's not the way the universe operates. The universe doesn't operate that way, but we operate that way. Human beings operate that way. And so it's important to know how, the difference, in terms of what we know, or I should say it's important to know what we're absorbing, where we are when we absorb these things. Are we being closed off, or I should say, are we closing ourselves off from other information that could be valuable and help us move even further? All of these things are very important to become aware of and constantly learn more and understand more, because there's always more. If you can understand that there's always more, then you'll always have this idea or knowing or understanding, I should say, that what you know is not the end of it. That's not all of it. There's always more. So it doesn't matter what I know. It doesn't matter, the things that I talk about. There's always more, and I know that there's always more, which is why I'm constantly learning all the time. Because whatever I know, there's something to explain that, and there's something greater to be had in terms of knowledge. And what I have is a foundation. And also what I have may be beyond a foundation that I already have. And so I have to be willing to go back and look at my knowledge and my understanding and be like, okay, well, is there something else that's missing from what I know? Because there's a lot of things that I don't know that's both forward and backward, or in front of me and behind me, things that I've skipped over. And you need to go back sometimes. It's like a math problem. You make a mistake somewhere and you're like, oh, wait a minute. Or I should put it like this. It's like a math problem where there's a process or an equation, or that's not the word that I had in my mind a minute ago. I just say process. There's a process that I forgot to make or write out or implement, and so it led me to a place where I need to go back, erase some stuff, recalculate something, or put in a process in order to get the number that I need in order to move forward. That's how life is. Life is very mathematical, but if you hate, I hate math, first of all, but the process is the same. You know, we may not be dealing with numbers, but the process is the same. There's certain things that you have to understand before you can fully move forward. You know, you can't just go from addition to algebra. You can't. And the thing is, a lot of people want to do that. They want to skip over the other stuff that they think is non-essential, not understanding that it is essential. Like, it is an essential aspect of their progression, of their journey, moving forward in their journey. But this love and power, and this is what I love about truth, is it explains everything. It explains everything. The process, like when I look at celestial beings and, you know, the power that a celestial being has to move. The thing is that a celestial being has the ability to move matter on Earth, to materialize a body, move matter on Earth, even move matter on Earth without materializing a body. They have the power to do that, but they don't engage in it. They don't engage in it. And that's the interesting thing, is if you seek power, you will not get it. If you seek love, you will be granted the power, but once you're granted the power, most of the time you won't use it. And the only reason you're given the power is because you know how to handle it. And this is why people are not granted power. There's no. Man today cannot have that kind of power because they will misuse it. They will misuse it for self-glory. They will use it to control others. Look. Ooh, you're so dramatic. Oh my God, that Lexus is so dramatic. So dramatic. So, you know, they have this, you know, the power. So, you know, if man had that kind of power, this world would have really been messed up a long time ago. This is why man has to work so hard to make things happen. Man has to use free will in order to make things happen. They don't have the power to make it happen easily. They have to work hard and long hours and use a lot of physical energy to make it happen. Because they don't have the power to manipulate matter the way celestial beings have, because they have more love, which is why I only look up to those who are celestial. I don't look up to man on Earth. It wouldn't make any sense to look up to someone who's limited. That doesn't make any sense, you know, at all. It's like a child looking up to a drug addict. Why would you want to do that? That doesn't make any sense, you know. Or even an adult looking up to a drug addict or alcoholic or a womanizer. That doesn't make any sense. Or someone who lies, a crooked businessman. Who wants to look up to be that? You do that and you're going to suffer their limitations. So, you know, my transformation, the change that has taken place within me, it started differently. But once I realized that, you know, there are celestial beings, and I realized how they operate, and I realized the ability that they have, but most importantly, how they view and implement the laws of the universe, how they abide by them. They follow the rules, they follow the laws. And it's not because they're forced to, it's not because they have to, it's simply because they understand them and they want to. That's it. They just understand it. Like, there's some things that, you know, keep coming up, and I'm like, nope, I can't do that. And I already know where they're coming from. And I have to deny these these spirits who are hanging around. I have to deny them what they're desiring, and they're gonna have to go somewhere else, because it's not happening here anymore. And that's another important thing, is when you have love, you become aware anyone who does not have that, a great deal of love within them, they're not aware of themselves or anything around them. But as you have more love, you become more aware. It's an automatic thing. Your knowledge increases, your understanding increases, the power you have increases. You influence people on a different level. You don't influence people out of control. You just influence people just by sharing whatever knowledge that you have, because it's just done out of love, and you're sharing it not with the expectation that they're going to get it, or that they have to get it, or that they have to change. You're just sharing it, and you're allowing people to do whatever they feel they want to do with it. Like, they have that free will to do that, and that's the loving thing. And before, I was like, before I even knew all the things that I know now, like before I understood the laws of the universe, the laws of the universe that govern our soul. Before I knew that, and I was like with the new age thing, and I was with the hypnosis thing. I was like, this is what you have to do, and can you get it? Just get it. This is why and I'm like, look, hey, if you want to know, I'll tell you. If you don't want to know, you don't have to know, because I know at the end of the day, I am responsible for where I end up. I'm responsible for what happens to me. I'm not responsible for anybody else. If they want to be ignorant people, then they can be ignorant people. They have that right. I don't have any kind of jurisdiction over them. I don't have any say. I don't want any say. Just the thought of not chaperoning, but looking over someone. Oh no! No. Like, I could never get into like social work like that. I talked about social work before, but I would never get into that, because you're controlling someone. You're trying to get someone. No, that's a lot. Like, just the thought of having that kind of pressure. Oh no, I don't want to control anybody at all. I don't want to have anything to do with anybody's life like that. Like, if you want to have a conversation, you want some knowledge, I'll share some knowledge with you. But that's it. That is it. Even in relationships, like, I have no desire to control anyone. I have no desire to, have someone that is this way. No, I can't, I have an idea of what I would like, but I can't, like, within me, I can't say to someone, this is what I like. And people ask me, well, what do you like, what is it that you look for? I'm like, I can't tell you that, I can't tell you that, because when people ask you that, they're attempting to conform in a certain way in order to win you over. And that's not what it's all about. It's like, either I'm going to meet someone who is going to be on my page, or I'm not. One or the other. But to have someone try to conform, oh no. Because that means they're going to be unhappy over time. Because they're going to either resent the fact that they changed and became something for you, and if you don't give something in return, there it goes. It's out the door. It is out the door. It's done. It's over. Arguments start. That's too much. I already know how this stuff turns out, so I won't even engage in it. But most people engage in it because they don't understand the dynamics of the soul. They don't understand how things operate. They don't understand why people do the things that they do. And because I understand why people do the things that they do, I don't engage in those things, and I don't allow myself to be the cause of someone else's change in that respect. Meaning, I don't allow myself to be the cause of someone forcing themselves to change in order to get something, because that means that they're not honoring what they truly desire. They're too busy trying to conform to please me or someone else. So anytime and that, again, that's an unloving thing, and it the universe disallows you the power that you could have, and so, there's a lot of things that I can do with the stuff that I know, but I understand that if I do that, I'll just degrade my soul, and I'm trying to go the other way. I'm not trying to I am not trying to go Oh my God, stop that. I am not trying to do that. I'm trying to go the other way. The point is to ascend and not descend, okay? Besides, I find that love, or being loving, is so much more peaceful. It's so much more calm. Yes, granted, I don't interact with a lot of people, but the people who are available to interact with they're unloving people. They have a great deal of pain within their soul, I should say. I can't see anything, fool, because you and your motorcycle. This man, you know what? I'm gonna let him do him. If he wants to run, between cars and big rigs, let him do it. It would be his law of attraction, which I cannot control, so just let it go, Bradley. Let it go. See? Just let them do what they want to do. Let them wait. That's from that movie, Coming to America. Anyway, yeah. If you want power, just be loving. Well, that's not going to work. I should say, just be loving and you'll get the power. But the thing is, once you understand what love is, and you operate from that place and desire to operate from that place, you'll be granted different things. But if you seek the power, if you seek the authority, it won't be real. It'll be an illusion. And oftentimes, that, like I said, that illusion is not realized until we pass. You can be a judge on this earth and thinking that you're doing the right thing. But because of that authority, because of that power that you seek, even if you're a police officer or a security guard, for as an example, or a manager, or a boss of some sort, if that's what you seek to control, if that's what you really seek, you will find that when you pass, you won't have any control. And you certainly won't have any control on how to get out of the place that you are in. You will not be able to, you will not know why you're there, and you won't know how to get out of it. And that's interesting, because those who don't have love can't even hold the information that I hold. They can't. Like, there are some people who listen, there are some people who hear the things that I've heard, but they can't absorb it. They can't understand it. They can't get it. Their soul does not allow them to hold the truth, because they don't have love within their soul. Truth is equivalent to love. That's what love is. It's truth. And these people don't have it within them, which is why they can't hold the truth, which is why they deny all things that I talk about. They cannot bring themselves to even, what word am I looking for? They can't bring themselves to even play with the idea that what I'm talking about is true. And if they looked at their lives, they would be able to see that it's true. But they can't. They can't, because they don't hold love within their soul. And that's what love grants you. It grants you the ability to find truth, and not only find it, but hold it. Otherwise, you can hold it in your hand and you won't know what to do with it. You won't know what to do with it. You won't even know that it's truth. You'll think that it's not real. And that's what most people think regarding this. Now, I don't know about most people, but a lot of people hear the stuff that I talk about, and they're like when I talk about the soul, there's no effing soul. You're stupid. That's just a bunch of magic and fairy tale stuff. They can't hold it. But just, and really they speak like that. They use the emotions of hatred and anger, and that just allows them the opportunity to hold the truth and be in love. They cannot do it because they have so much anger and pain within them. And this is what disallows the power. And that's why I say love equals power. And so they have no power over their soul, or they have no power over their lives. They don't know how to create anything than pain and suffering. They're always angry. They're always mad at someone. They're always finding out or looking for things that are negative. the government is always doing something. There's always a conspiracy. Like, these people have a lot of anger within them. And you cannot have anger within your soul and hold love at the same time. Anger or pain is the cap of how much love you can have within your soul. The more anger you have, the less love you're able to hold. It doesn't matter if they present it to you and it's there in your hand. It won't be absorbed. You won't understand what you have in your hand. Does that make sense? It's like you going to some island where nobody has ever seen money before, and you put money in their hand. They don't know what it is. They have no understanding. They don't know. Like, you can write someone a $20 million check, but if they don't know what it is, they don't know the power that they hold within their hand. They don't know of the abundance that they hold within their hand. And it's the same thing with love. You can present people with love, you can present people with truth, but if they don't know that's what it is, and they don't know how it's used, then they hold nothing. They can't use it for what it really is. And so the only thing they know is what they have already inside, what they understand. Pain, suffering, anger, hatred, all of this stuff. That's the only thing that they can hold within their soul. So don't limit yourself. And even me saying that, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that you're gonna do it. I mean, you can do whatever you want to do, but if you don't understand this, then you're constantly going to be governed by the anger and the pain that you have within you. All of that is because that's what's within your soul, and that's what you're governed by. You're governed by your soul. You are the soul, so everything that you experience is based on the soul, the contents of your soul. And your experiences are governed by that. Before things can get better, you have to slow down the things that are causing you, or slow down the experiences of the pain and suffering. You have to slow that down before things can change. It's like if you're driving in a car and you're doing 100 miles an hour, or even 30 miles an hour, it doesn't matter how fast or slow you're going. But as you're moving towards the direction, or moving in the direction that you're going in order to go the opposite direction, you have to slow down the momentum, come to a full stop, and then turn around. You cannot just turn around the other way. You have to slow down your momentum. And if you try to turn as you're speeding down the lane, something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. And it's going to bring you back. It's going to bring you back right to where you are. Because you have to release the things that you have within your soul. You may be able to, slow it down, but if you don't understand what you're doing, you'll end up right on that track again, going the same direction. It's, just be aware of, try to find yourself. Try to, and it's not hard, I was listening to this, I don't know, he wasn't a kid, but he was a young guy, and, I was talking with him, and he was like, I'm just trying to, figure out life, and I'm like, when he said that, I was like, the only way you can really figure out life is to know yourself, to learn about who you are. That's how you learn about life, is to learn about you. You are life. You are your life. You are the one who creates the experiences that you have. So, what is all this detour stuff? They're really doing something with these lanes. They're doing a lot of construction. Anyway, that's it for today, people. I hope you have a great rest of the week, and I'll keep you updated in terms of the podcasting, and let you know when I'm transfer things over. All right, so have a good one, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye now.